Girls! Everything wrong with the British military is caused by girls. Now, before you say, Tim, stop being so misogynistic, egotistic, narcissistic, hedonistic, opportunistic. Calm down, woman. I've got some great films to show you, so stick around. Right, it's probably not in the way you think. So I'm going to show you some films, and I know what you're going to think. You guys, Tim, you're going to show some films that prove that women in the workplace are a little bit different to men. I am. Because women in the workplace are more interested in feelings and relationships and making sure that people get on with each other, whereas men are interested in boundaries, a bit of structure and justice.
Maybe you should pay your employees more too then.
We pay pretty well.
I mean, I know someone's here working on their birthday.
Is it someone's birthday today?
You don't even know your own employees.
I don't know everyone's birthday. It's Colton's birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Colton.
birthday.
Congratulations. Adults work on their birthday. I'm going to cry for him.
I work on a nonprofit, and at least they give us our birthdays off.
If he wanted to request it, he could have.
I wouldn't have to request it off.
Choice. Okay, if they want to treat you like children, they can.
How's it treating like children? It's more
It's
of like
a birthday. Who gives a You have one every single year.
It's just called caring for people. I guess you don't understand that.
You're right. I'm forcing him to have a week off in, what, 2.5 weeks?
Good.
So I guess that's not
good. Maybe
caring.
make it 2.
And I'm losing revenue for that because we're not uploading that week.
I mean, that's totally fine. At least you still have the ability to lose a week. Because if I don't work a week, it's a struggle.
Yeah, but I'm making that sacrifice of me making less money in order to force everyone to have time off.
I mean, just you saying that is very much like an out-of-touch statement.
And in this video, we're going to have more clips like that. There are going to be some amazing videos. In fact, it's not the women that we need to blame. It's the weak men. Now, I'm going to show you a film now from the previous Defence Secretary, Ben Wallace. This clip is amazing. I saw it yesterday and I wanted to bring it to your attention. It talks about why the military is consistently underfunded. By the way, remember that Ben was the guy responsible for this. He was the guy supposed to be defending this.
Why is it that under successive governments, so it's not about particular politicians or particular political parties, but the department shapes those politicians when they lead the MOD. Why is it that it's so closed when it comes to information security of things that don't need to be kept so secret?
Well, I have I'll say it's a theory. Please don't add the word conspiracy. But
thank you.
For 30, 40 years, and I have said it, and I'm afraid it does get misquoted by the current government. I've said 30, 40 years, both Labour and Conservative governments hollowed out defence, right? I know I'm afraid the current government likes to drop the word both, or Labour, but Labour and Conservative hollowed out defence from the middle of the 90s, right? You could say that. And it's very, very easy to protect the public from the consequences of that if you own the narrative of the threat, because government owns the threat, right? It doesn't own the threat or the pressures on the health service, right? You know, why do the public want more money spent on health? Well, they read about it every day, they experience it, doctors talk about it, trade unions talk about it, the media talk about it. You don't get to talk about ammo stocks. You don't get to talk about what Russia is planning to do in the next 6 months. You don't get to talk about, because it's all secret. And if it's all secret, there's not going to be a competing public pressure on the exchequer for money. So of course, when you say to the public, what's your hierarchy? They go, well, health and education and defence is often further down, but that's partly because they don't know. You know, when I was security minister, every week I would read the top X number of plots against this country, the organised crime. If the public knew half of that.
That's fine until you have a security crisis. And then your military is exposed, and Mr. Heapy again is nodding just for the benefit of the...
So I have a theory that it suits number 10s not to have a competing pressure on the money, so they can take money from defence to fund other parts of the government. And I think because it is the one part where the government owns the narrative, it owns the risk, and it's all dressed up in its secrets.
And as much as Ben and I don't always see eye to eye, I will say that when he was Defence Secretary, he did the best job he possibly could. Now, who is he working against? As Rupert Lowe says here, confronting the civil servants with documents they have entirely redacted, which hide from the public the services being provided to illegal immigrants in hotels and just how much it costs to the British taxpayer. I've said before about the civil service, it is absolutely rife with the Fabian Society, with lefties, with little socialists, mini Marxists, and I say the erosion, because I was being generous, of the entire traitorous British civil service cannot come soon enough. So I'm not just having a go at women. I'm having a go at the influence that women have had in the workplace over the last 40, maybe 50 years. And the weakness, the weak men that have just failed to set the boundaries because they're girls and they might cry. Now, I had women in my office before who I ended careers off, and I treated those women exactly the same as men. And why is that? Because when you're flying these airplanes, women will kill you just as fast as men will kill you. There's no quicker, no slower. You're going to die exactly the same time frame. Women, when they fly these jets, often become overly aggressive because they're in masculine environments and they realise the men just will not tolerate any kind of bullshit like that. Men don't tolerate the bullshit from men. They're not going to tolerate it from women either because it just kills us. And women know that as well. That's why I say Sasha, leading the Red Arrows, very good woman. You don't get to fly jets if you're wrapped up in this wokist, Marxist, socialist, feminist bullshit. Let's look at another video. Right, she's got the eyes, like that last woman had the eyes. She's got the eyes, isn't she? The,
My trauma's as bad as yours. Oh! And then your boyfriend of 3 years dumps you, all in a 4-month period.
One of our trucks hit a mine outside Da Nang. 1 minute, Petey was cracking jokes, and the next, half of them was hanging off a tree. You ever hear a man scream with no lungs?
Well, that leveled that conversation up, didn't it? I want to see strong men. I want to see strong women. We need to rid ourselves of this absolute rubbish. I'll tell you a story in a second about a guy that blocked me, and I just found out about it recently. A guy called Mark. I really like the dude, actually. First off, let me show you what a strong man looks like. Here we got the boss of Singapore Airlines talking about a strike they had back in 1980. Listen to the conviction in this man's voice.
I gave them a choice. Continue this, and I will, by every means at my disposal, teach you and get the people of Singapore, help me teach you a lesson you won't forget. And I'm prepared to start all over again. Or stop it. Get back to work, restore discipline, then argue your case. Took them 65 minutes. They did as much talking as I did, a lot of them in answer to my questions. And they decided, okay, it isn't worth the fight. Why? Because they know they'll lose. They know that I'm prepared to ground the airline. They know that I can get the airline going again without them. And let there be no mistakes about this. Whoever governs Singapore must have that iron in him, or give it up. This is not a game of cards. This is your life and mine. I've spent a whole lifetime building this. And as long as I'm in charge, nobody's going to knock it down.
Where have those men gone? Don't bullshit me here. All right, I was blocked recently by a guy. His name's Mark. He's a really good mate of mine, actually. I really liked him. He used to phone him up all the time. He used to phone me. He's blocked me on everything. Went and joined a company, and he didn't want to be associated with me because it might look bad on his application, I assume. Not interested in that. I'm 51 years old now. Even if he was to phone up tomorrow, oh, Tim, I saw your video. Not interested, mate. I'm moving on. Everyone moves on. I'm just upset about it. Because weak men, there's weak men out there, and they are affecting all of us.
My husband is mad at me because he walked in and he saw that I'm making breakfast. And I told him that this was for me and my daughter, and that if he wanted some, he needed to cook for himself. I told him I was not going out of my way to make breakfast for him. This is only for me and my daughter. Like, if you're that hungry, there's a McDonald's down the street, or there's eggs in the fridge and there's bacon and you can make it yourself. He's acting like this not cooking for him thing is brand new. I gave him a list of things that I don't do the day that we got married, and he was okay with it. So what's the problem now? I told him if you don't want to cook, you could wait and see if there's any leftovers. If there's leftovers, go ahead and eat. If there's no leftovers, then I'm sorry. You're gonna have to figure it out. But I am not gonna cook for you. It's not my job to cook for you. I'm sorry. And then on top of that, I'm doing scrambled eggs. He wants a fried egg. No, I'm sorry. That's too much work for me. I'm not gonna do it. So my husband decided to drain our joint bank account and leave me after so much controversy on my videos. I guess he got, wind of the videos, and yeah, he drained our bank account, and he has told me that I have to leave. At first, I thought he was the one that's going to be gone and that I was going to be able to stay here, but he returned and he said that I need to pack up my things and go. I told him absolutely not, because I have children and me and my children are not going to be in the street. So I told him that he has to evict me. And the one that gave him this idea of leaving me was his birth giver. Yes. His mother was the one that gave him the grand idea to leave me.
Well done, mum. And here's another video about women messing around with things you just shouldn't mess around with.
I, 28 female, made a joke with my husband, 29 male, and it's costing me my marriage with a man I truly love. My husband and I have been married for 4 years now. I truly do love him. I can't see a life without him. I took some stupid advice from some of my girlfriends regarding a joke that they have done with their husbands. The joke is basically telling your partner that you want a divorce. I never wanted to do it and thought it was cruel to do, especially to someone you love. Stupidly, I did it last week, and my husband's reaction wasn't what I thought it would be. I honestly thought that he would try and talk to me or beg or make suggestions like my friends' partners had done, but he didn't. We had dinner and we were watching a movie when I told him, I'm not happy anymore, and I think we should get a divorce. He looked at me for a couple of seconds, and I swear, it looked like something broke in his eyes. Came out with a bag and walked out of the house without saying a word to me. I told him it was just a joke, but he basically just brushed me off and walked out.
So men want peace and they just want purpose. And that's really all it is. I do coaching, guys. I know this. I speak to men every day. I've got a book coming out called The 5 Fs. Fitness, family, finance, fuel and faith. You know it. We just want solitude. Literally, that's all it is. We just want to go in our own direction. It's not complex. It doesn't have to be.
But one of them caught our eye, the one in the center. He would neither go towards the feeding grounds at the edge of the ice, nor return to the colony. Shortly afterwards, we saw him heading straight towards the mountains, some 70 kilometers away. Dr. Ainley explained that even if he caught him and brought him back to the colony, he would immediately head right back for the mountains. But why?
I think we're all penguins, guys, and that's the problem, isn't it? We're lacking the penguin in the British military. Okay, so that's my theory anyway, that we've allowed weak men to govern our institutions. And let me know in the comments what you think as well, because I think it's an absolute disgrace. I can't see any way out of it as well. These are what we call NPCs, non-playable characters. An absolute disgrace, of course, to themselves, their families, the country, and of course the militaries and the private and public sector institutions that they serve. Guys, I really appreciate it. I've got a store coming soon as well where you can buy shirts and mugs and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It always helps the channel. Really appreciate it. I'm sorry I haven't made many videos recently. I've been moving my mum's house. You know what I mean? I've been out of the office here. Until next time, Tim Davies, Fast Hit Performance.